And informative content is the best front end for any business that gets you paid on the back end. Welcome to Growth Chapters. If you are joining us for the first time, I am Osahan Obamogie, and today we'll be doing a review of Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Leads. We'll be reviewing the chapter post-free content today. So let's get right into it. Now, if you are new to this channel, in this channel, we are all about learning finance. We are all about learning how to grow a business. We are all about increasing our financial knowledge, especially through the lessons that we will be taking from books like this that we will always review on this channel. So for today, we are reviewing Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Leads. The background of what leads are: in starting any business, you need to generate leads for that business. Leads are people that are interested in that particular thing that you are offering, in that particular niche that you are, your would-be customers, people that you have not yet converted to clients, but they have a certain interest for what you offer. Those are leads. Now, let's start with what are the advantages of posting free content. The first thing that we want to know why we post free content, a lesson learned from the book, is you want to build an audience. Building an audience for your product or service is very, very important. Why? Because when you have an offer for your audience, it's easy to sell. It's easy to get people to buy or purchase your particular product or service. For example, personally, I'm a lawyer and I work with startups. I also work with investors that want to invest in startups. And I have been deliberating posting content for startups for them to get very good educational content. And in that, I think as at now, I have about 5,000 followers on TikTok, almost 2,000 followers on Instagram. And with this, I've been able to build an audience in my niche. So one of the major reasons why you post free content is that you want to build that audience. You want to build that audience so that when you have an offer for them, you'll be able to easily monetize that offer. And you just want to have a core set of people that you are constantly giving value to on a consistent basis. Now that you have decided to finally post free content on a consistent basis, how do you structure this content? Now, the first thing you have to decide is whether you're going to post short form content or long form content. I personally would advise that if you are just starting out, you go for a short form content, maybe a 30 seconds content, a 60-second content that you can pack with value to generate leads for your business. Because we are not just here to be content creators. We are here in this channel to learn how to generate leads for our businesses. Now, when you choose to either go for short form content or long form content, the major ingredients of that content will be three things: hook, retain, reward. Let's start with hook. Now, the first 3 seconds of a video of your content is very, very important. Why? People are being choked with the noise of lots and lots of content on their phones. For example, if you open your Instagram or your TikTok and you're scrolling and scrolling, the only videos that will captivate your attention are the videos that the first 3 seconds of those videos are strong. A call out is strong. For example, if you are into startups like I am into, your first 3 seconds has to be, for example, these 3 things will help you get investors for your startup. You see, that's a hook. Most likely, the person scrolling through their phone that has a startup that needs an investor, which is the core person I am out to get, will be very interested in what I have to say. So that's the hook section of posting a content. The second is retain. Now that they have stopped to watch your content, you want to retain their attention. Now, in retaining their attention, you have to give them quality, good quality content. In retaining their attention, there are 3 major ways you retain attention. It's either you're going to give them a list of things that are valuable to them, or you're going to give them steps that are valuable to them, or you're going to tell a story giving value to them that matches the hook. In posting content, you can mix all 3. You can mix both the list, the steps, and the story formats. These are called formats that help retain people for your particular content. So you can tell a story in a step, you can put some lists in a step, you can mix them, but these are the major ways you retain content. Then the next thing you want to do, you want to reward your listeners. All these lessons are gotten from the book. Remember, we are doing a review of this book, and particularly I'm zooming in on how to create free content that this book covers. Now, in rewarding the audience that has tuned into your content, the major thing you want to do is ensure that they got lots of value from your content. And by adequately rewarding them with a lot of value, what is going to happen is they're going to share your content with their friends and families. Your business is going to grow. You're going to get more leads for your business, and you'll be able to convert more of those leads to actual paying clients. So it's very important to hook, retain, and reward. And when it comes to posting free content, you're going to have to be consistent. I would suggest you post your free content for your business, especially when the goal is to generate leads for your business. I would suggest that you post your free content every day on a daily basis, because the goal here is to be findable. There are certain individuals that want to purchase from you, but they don't know you exist. There are certain people that will love to patronize your product or service, but they don't know you exist. So you want to be online. And the first thing that you do when you are starting out a business, especially in 2026, when I'm making this video, is leverage. You want leverage. So what is a major leverage opportunity open to you? Social media. So you want to be posting free content on a consistent basis. You can go as far as posting twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, if you have the time, because the goal is to be findable. That is the major goal of posting free content. You want to be findable to people that are interested in your product or service. Now, if you're having problem, especially your niche, wondering what do I post about, how do I go about content ideas and all that, first of all, we have artificial intelligence. You have ChatGPT, you have Claude, you have all these apps that you can interact with and they can give you content ideas. Now, when you take some of the ideas that an AI gives you and you post those free content out there, watch out for the contents that are doing well. Watch out for the DMs that you get. When people DM you about certain topics, you should mark those topics as core areas that people are struggling with. That if you can create valuable and free content for these people, they will love to patronize your business for your product or service. And I want to make this statement that would really help drive this home. An informative content is the best front end for any business that gets you paid on the back end. Another way of getting content ideas is also when something is trending. Now, if something is trending that is relevant to your niche, or your niche has a take or a perspective on that particular thing trending. If I'm to use myself as an example, in Nigeria here, there's a current situation of a guy called Papa Jasko that used to be a very popular actor when I was growing up. And because of certain legal issues in the documentation of the producer and himself, there are some copyright issues that happened in that contract that he ended up broke. Because I'm a lawyer, I look at that from the legal side. That's a trendy topic in Nigeria, and I can decide to create a particular content on that particular story because it's a trending story. So just in the same way, you can take a trending story in your particular niche and give your niche take on that particular story. That's just a way of creating content for your business with a particular trending topic. You could get ideas from AI if you don't have ideas for your niche. But you could also just manufacture the whole content through AI. AI can give a very compelling story about a content for your niche, especially if you're just starting out, you're just starting a business and you don't really have client stories, you don't really have core experiences with clients. You could use AI to manufacture stories that help generate leads for your business and puts you out there as an authority in your business field. Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that you could decide to do short content or long form content. And I suggested if you are just starting out, focus more on short form content. Why? Because short form content is easy to make. It's easy to zoom in and focus all your attention on a 30 seconds video or a 60 seconds video if you are just starting out. I heard somewhere that one thing people fear more than death is public speaking. If you have that fear, you can cut it down into a very small size by preparing and shooting a 30 seconds to 60 seconds video for your content. In fact, on platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, it seems to be that short form content does well on this platform. So you could model that and use them for this platform. You could also go into long form content as soon as you become better. Or you could start out with long form content from the very beginning. If your goal is to be a very good public speaker in the next 10 years, you want to practice long form content again and again so that you can be much of a better speaker when you are presenting situations, and also for the core focus on which I personally love and what this channel is about. You could generate better leads for your business because in line with certain principles, I'm a Christian and the Bible lets us know that you give and it shall be given unto you. So posting free content is a way of giving free, valuable content to people, and you'll be shocked at how much you'll be paid on the back end by constantly giving out free and valuable content. Now that you have been posting free content, giving your brand and your business awareness online, let's talk about how to monetize your content. Remember, all this is gotten from this book. All this is gotten from this book. Like this is the book that really drives this home. We are reviewing the chapter post free content in this book. Now, in monetizing your content, you must have been posting free content for a while. We have something called the give to ask ratio. You usually want to give, then ask your audience for something. If you ask your audience to pay you too early, let's say, for example, you just have 2 contents on your page and you're already asking people for money, it shows desperation. It shrinks the size of your audience. So you don't want to do that. And one thing I prefer to do, I prefer to give in public, ask in private. Practically how this has worked for me is that I post a lot of free content in my legal niche, and in private I get a lot of DMs, and some of those people pay me on the back end. So you can see that you don't necessarily need to be coming out on your social media page and be constantly asking people for money. You don't want to do that. You want to focus more on giving out value on a day-to-day basis. And even though some people won't pay you, but at least you give very good value to them. And trust me, people that have a better mind, people that where their heart is, their treasure is also there, they would love to pay you and they will get that service from you, and that will bless you. So work on your give to ask ratio. Don't just start out, of course, when you start out at if you start out posting free content because you need the money, you may be drawn into the era of where you want to just ask. You want to ask people for money. I run this business, pay me now if you're interested. No. Focus on the very informative value you can give to your core audience regarding your product or service. Focus on that very informative content and just keep churning it out. Just keep on a daily basis, keep churning it out. In your DMs, people will reach out to you by your DMs, by email, and they will want you to implement that service for them or consult for that service. So if you have a product, they will probably want to purchase your product. So I really want to emphasize that in this world of posting content, in today's world, content is leverage for your business. You can't have a business in 2026 and you are not posting free content, free, informative, valuable content regarding your product or service almost on a daily basis. In fact, you should be heading towards 2-3 times a day because the major goal is to be findable. If you have a business and you're not posting free content on a consistent basis, I guarantee you are trying to earn a living in the past. And in trying to earn a living in the past, your business is going to become obsolete. AI can replace your business. Certain things can replace you. You don't want to do that. So you want to ensure that, in fact, even if you're already making some money from your business, if you want to scale exponentially, I would advise that you take up posting valuable, informative content for your business on a daily basis. You take it seriously and you do that. You'll be surprised at the way your business will scale. One major thing that posting free content does is that it warms people up to you. Now, unlike cold outreach, which is also talked about in the book, cold outreach is you DMing people cold. They don't know you from anywhere. You are just DMing them, and free content, yes, it reaches out to people that don't know you. But once they get value from your content, they are most likely to follow you because they want to see more of your content. And you are not asking for anything. So they are most likely to follow you. And as they follow you, or even if they don't follow you, they go to your page and they see your other content and they see the amount of valuable, informative content that you have been creating, and they want to be associated with you. And one advantage of this in 2026 is that when you have built an audience for a particular niche, that the core people following you have an interest in that niche, brands that have products or services to render to that niche would contact you to be a brand ambassador or to contact you to promote their business or service because your audience is built for their product or service. So posting free content has a lot of advantages, and I advise you to please get started. Create free, valuable, informative content for people in your niche, for your clients, especially the people that you know that you have been called to serve. In posting free content, I want to emphasize this. People do not have short attention spans. It's just that a content is too boring. That is why people do not pay attention. When you are posting content for your business, I would advise that you niche down. If your content is for everybody, then it's for nobody. You want your content directed specifically at your particular niche so that it cuts through the noise, so that they can pay attention to your content. And the way we evaluate whether your content is good or not is that, let's say at the end of the month, you sit down and look at whether your audience grew or how much reach you got. If, for example, I had 5 followers at the beginning of a month and I ended up with 50 followers, it is clear that my content is giving value one way or the other, and it shows by the growth. And also the reach. If I'm reaching more people, if the impressions I get on my content have increased, it is clear that my content is good and it is giving value to my core audience. Now, in order to make content creation for your business not too stressful for you, I would advise that what you do is take one day a week and film out maybe a 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes video, whichever one you are comfortable with for your business. And over the week, just simply cut out a little bit of that video and post on a consistent basis on different platforms, or you can post the long form content on YouTube. That will help you rather than sitting down every day to be shooting content. If you have the time, you can do that. Alex Hormozi shoots his short form content specifically for optimizing each video for that particular video. But I would also advise that you could shoot a long form video and split that into different short form videos for your niche. So that should help you grow your business in a very good way. And I want to repeat as I end this video today, an informative content is the best front end for any business that gets you paid on the back end. Now, if this video brought you some value, I want you to share this video with a business owner